Ladies and gentlemen, Storyboard P. Give him a hand. Awesome. Awesome. Wow, what can we say? Joining us for a Q&A, we'll have Storyboard back with us, but also director Matt Darcy and producer Erik Pauser. Come to the stage. Please welcome them.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, awesome. Wow. You didn't break a sweat for a long time. So it's like, let's start. There's a microphone if people have any questions for the audience, but I'll start first just about the beginning of this project. Matt and Storyboard and Erik, how did you get together? What was the...
I saw Matt at a house dance party. And I'm joking.
I saw him on YouTube and decided to go to try and meet him because of something I wanted to see more of. So I made friends on Facebook. That was how it started. And then through the whole process of making the film, I moved to Sweden. I came from London, and we went to New York to start filming. And then when Storyboard went to Stockholm, I followed. And when he left, I stayed. And then Erik, I met Erik, and he helped me finish the film and get all the funding necessary.
And also joining us is the composer, musician Douglas Dare. Beautiful accompaniment. Let's talk about the music and the dance together. How did that work?
Hello? Oh.
Yeah.
How did it work?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, I should say it's a huge honor to be able to write. This is the first music I've written for any kind of film or documentary, so it's a real honor, and especially I really connected with Storyboard's movements, and yeah, it was just Matt approached me and said he wanted some. I think you said you liked my music. I'm actually a songwriter usually, but I wanted to give this a go, and I think the solo piano for me was just really connected with Storyboard's movements. I just saw it as when he's dancing. When I was watching on the film, that's all I could see. It was just very much about him in that moment, in his head. And for me, that's what piano is for me. That's what happens to me when I play. And also, I should say, it's a huge honor and a thrill to be able to watch Storyboard sort of perform here now and play live. We've never done that before, so that was a new experience for me. So that was amazing. Yeah.
Okay, you say something.
No, you got it.
Well, for me, it was just because there was a necessity out of having to. I couldn't actually use all the original music. Some of the times, Storyboard is dancing to other music, and I thought it gave us an opportunity to write music, or for Douglas to write music that would accompany Storyboard as a performer, rather than the other way, which is what you've usually been doing until recently, when you've started making your own music.
Yes. Hello. Hi. You guys enjoying yourself? Okay, cool. Yeah, so this was really fun, this process. Matt kind of kept me blind the whole time he was making it, and I was kind of annoyed. But it's cool because it kind of inspired me to make my own music, so I've been producing my own stuff. I'm working on a visual recording now. I just had to plug that in, I'm sorry. Yeah, but the process... Oh, yeah. We shot something yesterday with the Rams on the hill. It was really nice. But yeah, I'm so thankful because I came from the bottom. I came a very long way, and I survived a lot of things and elements, which is cool to be here now. So I just want to thank the audience for coming out.
Storyboard, how did you start? When did you start dancing, and how did you start dancing? And how did you acquire your really special, unique style?
Well, first, I have to thank Allah, thank the Most High, for blessing me with insight some sort of insight. I started locally in Brooklyn, and the forms we started off with was reggae, like Heel and Toe, Bruck Up, and from Bruck Up and certain like reggae forms, Panamanian, certain salsa forms, I started to create my own like unique footwork and staccato. So, and I, sample violinists when they play strings to create like a sort of like constant effect. It's been maybe, I'm 26 now, it's been maybe like 10 years plus dancing like publicly and stuff. You guys could check out Flume Shet Fake is out now. Drop the game. It got 60 million views. I'm just plugging it in. Flying Lotus Until the Quiet Comes, that's out. Jay-Z Picasso Baby. Beyonce If I Was a Boy. Yeah. And, Oh, Stranger in Sweden. That's the latest one, y'all. Get it on DVD real soon.
It's a great follow-up from YouTube to Stranger in Sweden, isn't it? It's so great. And just to remind you, we have a really wonderful dance strand called Get Up and Dance, which also features, in addition to the wonderful film Stranger in Sweden, we have Kiki and Strike a Pose, and we have a great soul and funk party tonight at the O2 Academy, so please join us for that. So any questions? I saw a hand there. Yes. You, miss.
Thank you very much for this film. I felt like I was deeply touched, and I really enjoyed watching that film. Thank you very much for making it. I'm sitting here. And I've got a question to Matt. The beginning of the film, or the first sequence, has this... there's no narrative, it's just this visual, poetic dance scene on the street in New York. And then throughout the film, there are several moments of just dance and how Storyboard interacts with the environment, with the street, with the cars. So I really enjoyed these poetical sequences. I'm a filmmaker myself. I still go to film school, so I'm still learning. And I wanted to ask you whether you thought at one moment to use these more poetical, essayistic storytelling, or if that actually is possible to tell more just with these dancings.
I thought that was the moments when we filmed interviews as well, but I ended up using the dance sequences as in replace of those interviews in a way. So that's how I thought I got sort of closest to Storyboard, how I understood him best when he was dancing.
I think that worked out really well. But do you think it would have been possible to tell a story just with dance scenes and music?
I mean, it wouldn't have been such. It would have been more. I don't know. It had just been more of a dance. Oh, that's tricky. You could have had an up and down. You could have had a trajectory in terms of emotion, and you could have told some story. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Yes.
That was amazing. I'm very, very inspired by your level of belief in what you do. And I wondered if you thought there was any relationship between doubt in what you're doing, or if you ever have any. It doesn't seem to me like you did. But if there's any relationship between not knowing whether what you're doing is the right thing and how far you push yourself as an artist.
Every day I kind of beat myself up because I didn't kind of grow up to be like a hustler or I hustle my dance, but like a big rapper or some of these other fields that are more respected. But I've been fighting for dancers to become like centerpiece artists, MTV rotation and better, like having their own stuff, whether they're writing their own music to incorporate with the dance. I don't really believe in being behind like musicians, you know, like doing backup. I kind of don't. I'm not really for that. Over the years, though, I went through a lot of situations with people where they used to down me and downplay me, and not see my vision and what I wanted to do. But it was always in my heart, so I kind of just like stuck it out. Yeah, I mean, like, I've lived in trap houses, you know, like they're selling like cocaine and stuff, and I'm dancing and doing my moves, like, you know, like, because I saw past it. So you do beat yourself up, but I think over the years, though, it's starting to become more hopeful.
Good.
I think you're incredibly hard on yourself and incredibly self-critical, and also because you do it, it's all solo and it's all improvised. It's all in the moment. I think there's a lot of pressure. I mean, I can do that. So I think that mixture of self-belief and also
You have to have faith.
Hi, thanks for coming to Sheffield. I've been watching you for years on YouTube. I never thought I'd see you live. It was amazing. Thank you, Matt and Erik, for making the film. I have like a cliche question, but how do you come up with new movements? Like, what inspires you? Is it all improvised? How does it work?
I have like layers of like dreams, like lucid visions. I kind of travel the left side of my brain. It's like a road. And I see like different light patterns, and I kind of stylize my movement off of the cinematic film, like Ray Harryhausen, like stop motion, like claymation, but mixing claymation with like pedestrian form. So I call it urban pedestrian. I kind of want it to seem normal, but be surreal at the same time. So sometimes it takes me hours, you know, like coming up with like patterns. Like you can have a movement where your body has different rotations, different things you can do, like, but to get a certain effect on it, it kind of is like making a film. So it's painstaking. Yeah, and also like current events and things that's going on, I kind of like study people's mannerisms and like how they are and their personalities, so that when I do my move, it's not just the move, it's kind of like the nuance of people. So yeah.
Yes.
Thank you so much for your film. To the crew, it was beautiful, and to the composer, unbelievable, beautiful cinematic music. And thank you to you, Storyboard. We met last night very briefly. And thank you for telling me about your film. It's quite amazing to see. Just a question really to you about it's quite a similar question, but about the emotional and psychological process while you're actually dancing, because one of the most powerful scenes for me was, I guess, your breakdown and just your vulnerability that we saw, and just how real you were, you know, and how much, I guess, correct me if I'm wrong, the strive for perfection, like how human beings, we're boundaryless, like in a lot of aspects, and perfection is like a scary concept. So that's how I perceived it. Just, can you speak about your own process while dancing? Are you present? Are you aware of it as a healing tool for you in your past and trauma, or is it kind of, like you said, I want to be free, I just want to be free? So what are you thinking and feeling, or aren't you feeling at all? So yeah, just about while you're dancing, basically.
Okay, well, I don't know where to start with this question. Okay, I was diagnosed with bipolar and schizophrenia when I was younger, but I kind of used it as a tool, and my style used to be trauma-based, where I would like take all my pains and like flush it out like with movement, but over time it became more of a praise dance. So I don't know, I guess in the film when you see me like kind of like going up, I started to change my vernacular and started to create better subconscious material for myself because your thoughts engineer your pathway. So I was maybe like 2012, I started smoking and I spent like some years smoking like after the film, but now I'm not smoking anymore. Like I'm getting back like focused and stuff. But I guess different things you try to do to try to keep yourself on track, balancing your real life with the lifestyle that you may want to build for yourself. And it's hard juggling it. But I would say the dance grew from a pain-based style into something more avant-garde and eclectic. So I don't know, does that help answer somewhat your question?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah? Okay.
One more question. Say yes, you.
How confident were both of you with, filming dance and dancing for film before this project began? And did that skill grow over the course of filming it, especially with knowing that it was mostly improvised, so you didn't have strict choreography to kind of work within those parameters?
Yeah, in some ways, our relationship was most simple when we were when I was filming him dance, and because you like being filmed dance, it's a big part of your expression is the filming of it, and yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when he first started following me around, when he first started following me around, I had to decide, as an artist, which I take a lot of heat for, at being a sort of artist who is very outspoken. I just put out my real life and what's going on. When he was filming me, I was sort of deciding whether I let people see my flaws or I just let them see the end result. But over time, I created a style that if I have a flaw, I use the flaw as emotion. So I got better with it over time and started working more and more with film because of being vulnerable and letting someone just come in.
Yeah, and practically you like to be filmed full body, don't you? So you can see everything, and I like to go in and try to get close-ups because I think the expressions are so great, and so that was a challenge of filming.
Thank you.
Any more questions? I think we can take one more question. Yes, you, sir. Right,
Thank you very much. Following on from a few questions ago, you explained, I think, very, very well what your individual thought process was developing your dance and so on. I'm interested in how you view the space. Now, presumably you knew where you were dancing here. You've got space, you've got the seats there, you can get down, you've got the bar behind and so on. How do you, when you approach an area, you're in the trunk of a car, you don't know the bus is coming along and so on. Can you give any sort of sense of how in your head you're tying in what you were talking about a couple of answers ago with the available space around? Is there a plan to start off with, or does it then just develop in and you're seeing perhaps more opportunities in your space?
I would think when I first start dancing, well, I dance as a survival dance. I started off on my block, and growing up dancing outside, it was a form of getting through territory. If I'm on a new block, I might dance to navigate the area or meet new people. So I guess when I'm using a space, I'm thinking I want to cram as much material in a certain space so that it has more of a visual effect, and I'm able to create sort of entendres in the moment. I think if you watch video games, like sometimes like the background kind of like got this sort of thing. I sort of sample that like in having like automated motions that continue. So the environment is something that you could play with. We call it cheat codes. Like you could just like play with the environment. People don't usually expect it, so I guess I just kind of want like some type of shock value.
That's brilliant. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you. I'm sorry, I'm afraid we're running out of time, but I'd like to join me in welcoming and thanking Storyboard